What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. This is the George Mossey Show. This is my co-host, Heather C. So we watched David and Annie after the 90 Days, Season 2, Episode 8. We're 8 episodes in. They are in Phuket for over a week. They actually got their first day off, their first weekend, chilling by the pool. The ladies took a lady day, a beach day, and the guys went to Muay Thai boxing, which is something that I've always wanted to try. So we watch Aunt Lome relax. She's a lot more easy to deal with when she's sitting out by the pool with a drink in her hand. Did you notice that? Aunt Lome seemed a lot more fun when she's not at home tending to the farm and tending to the animals. I felt like she was having a good time. So what we noticed was Jordan had an open heart-to-heart conversation with David, right? He said that he is pretending to be happy, but he's homesick and he wants to be back home and he wants to spend time with his girlfriend. Now, there's a lot of conflicting information because in this episode, we watched a conversation with Jordan's girlfriend, Ming, who was very, very supportive of him going to America, very supportive of him being in Phuket and learning English. And she said that he's doing this to better himself and she wants him to stick with it. So Jordan using Ming as an excuse to say that he doesn't want to do this because he misses her might actually be a cop out because Ming is actually very supportive. During that conversation, she was like, I'm proud of you. I want you to keep at it. I want you to stick with it. This is for the best future for you. So that conversation that Jordan had with David, David went back and told Annie. Now, apparently in Thai culture, men do not talk about their feelings and how they feel. So this conversation that he had with David was very personal and was not to be shared with Annie. So when Annie confronts Jordan about the conversation, Jordan feels betrayed because he felt like that was personal. I don't open up to people. I don't talk to people. So for you to go and tell her what I said to you is just unacceptable. And he now feels even more shut down and more closed off. And he even feels like his sister would never understand what he's going through because she's a woman. And I think that's insane because I feel like women are way more in touch with their feelings and emotions and what's going on than men. So I feel like if anyone would understand, it's Annie. But of course, in their culture, they don't feel that way because men aren't supposed to feel over there in that country and that culture. So where do you feel this is going to end up? Because it's very clear that Jordan doesn't want to go to America, but then we watch him in the hotel doing his homework and practicing his English and sticking to the plan. So do you feel like he's just torn and confused, or do you feel like he hasn't even made a decision yet?
I feel like he has more growing up to do. I think that they should listen to him. And if he's not ready to come over here, then he shouldn't come. I mean, I know that they want the best for him. I know they want to work on his future and make sure that, he has like the best education and the best, of everything. But if he wants to stay there, he's not going to work hard and apply himself because his heart's not in it. So maybe they should circle back around and see where he's at in a couple of years. I mean, kids his age, the only thing that's on their mind is friends, significant others, video games, hanging out, being outside, whatever. They're teenagers. They're not thinking of, oh, maybe I can get this education so I can go to Harvard or, I could get a corporate job. Kids don't think about that type of stuff. They just want to know what's for dinner, what's on TV, what they can do next, whose house can they hang out at. They don't care about anything for the future. So I know that's David and Annie's job to kind of help, bring them back to reality and say, this is what you need. But it's not there. It's not ready
there's
for.
there's only so much guiding, that you can do before it turns into controlling. And I think that's how Jordan feels. He feels like they're trying to guide him, but they're also trying to pressure and control him. Like you said, he's a child. 15-year-old children, they don't make life-changing decisions. They're not equipped mentally to do that. They can't think past what's going on right now. And like he feels, he has a girlfriend that he really likes, and the idea of being thousands and thousands of miles away from her is just too much for him to understand at his age. Even though even she understands it, she's a little older, she's 18. She understands that it's going to pay off in the end. In his young mind, he sees it as, I'm going to hop on that plane, and when I come back, she's going to not remember me. She's going to move on, and my life with her is going to be done. So I do feel like Amber, on the other hand, is ready to do this. She is more mature. She's ready. She's taking a really good feel to the English classes in Phuket. And I feel like what she's doing there has really shown the growth. And I feel like if she's ready and Jordan isn't, like you said, it doesn't mean that he can never come. He can never do this. It just might be a good time for them to circle back. If he does even make it to the embassy and take the visa interview, because we're not even 100% sure if he's going to go through with it, because we know last time when they went to take the second interview, he wasn't feeling it. So we're just going to have to see where it goes. And I think David and Annie have done all that they can to help guide him, and now it's literally up to him. And if they force him to come to America and he's not ready, that situation is going to be bad, because we did see when he was rebelling, when he was walking around with a machete around the house in the village. And we know trying to get a teenager to do something that they don't want to do is not something that you want to be on the receiving end of.
Right.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have. So we're going to be back next week for episode 9 of David and Annie after the 90 days. They're going to be heading to Bangkok for this interview. Fingers crossed, both Jordan and Amber past this interview are able to come to America if Jordan wants to. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. And we're going to talk to all of you guys really soon.